Ladies and gentlemen, right now, things are not looking very good for Democratic House Rep. Jamie Raskin. You see, we've all known for a long time that Raskin is corrupt. We've known that he's incredibly partisan and willing to weaponize the justice system against his political opponents. But what we just found out is that he's also curiously involved with one of the largest government corruption scandals in recent history. $160 million. That's how much taxpayer money flowed into a USAID contractor called Global Communities tied directly to Jamie Raskin. In fact, now that all of this is out in the open, even Elon Musk is commenting on the situation. Typing on X, many such situations, government funding to non-governmental organizations goes through various money laundering shell companies until reaching guys like Raskin. So there you have it. Not a good look. But okay, let's break all of this down. As reported, Representative Jamie Raskin, one of the key figures on the J6 committee that received a pardon from President Biden, is linked to a massive $160 million scandal from USAID. Not only was he part of the squad trying to keep us in check during the J6 hearings, but he's also the representative for Global Communities, a giant USAID contractor that raked in $160 million in 2023. That's right, folks. You see, Raskin isn't just some random member of Congress cashing in on government waste. No, he was literally one of the loudest voices on the J6 committee, the very same committee that tried to declare Trump an evil insurrectionist and bar him from holding public office again. But here's the funny thing about all of that. While Raskin was busy trying to destroy Donald Trump, he was also raking in millions from the same corrupt government system that Trump is now exposing. So now, it all makes sense. Now, let's not forget that January 6th committee was a complete and total scam because of guys like Raskin. If you all remember, despite all of their grandstanding, they failed to prove that Trump was actually an insurrectionist. Instead, they were exposed for being corrupt themselves after allegations surfaced that they were tampering with witnesses using encrypted messaging apps. But folks, as we all now know, the real goal of the J6 committee was never really to find the truth. No, the real goal was to invoke Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which states that anyone guilty of insurrection can never hold elected office again. And guess who was one of the loudest voices pushing for this? Jamie Raskin. In fact, here's Jamie Raskin in his own words from just a couple months ago, in which he says that Democrats should prepare for Civil War-like conditions if Trump is to become president again.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means.
That's right. Raskin was literally fear-mongering about a civil war if Trump were to win the election. And yet, despite the best efforts of Democrats like Jamie Raskin, the Supreme Court ultimately shut down their insurrectionist plan in a sweeping 9-0 decision during the Republican primary in 2024. That's right. Even the Supreme Court unanimously agreed Trump is not an insurrectionist and the Democrats don't get to use the 14th Amendment to keep him off the ballot. The Democrats lost, their plan failed, Raskin lost, and now Trump is back in the White House, and guess what? Now all of Raskin's corruption is coming to light. But now, folks, before we move on, I want to say real quick, if you enjoy the daily news coverage, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton with my daily struggle against the YouTube algorithm. But okay, folks, check this out. You guys have only seen the beginning of Jamie Raskin's hypocrisy. If you might remember, Jamie Raskin multiple times has gone on the record saying that only someone who's guilty of a crime would ever accept a presidential pardon. Well, guess what? Jamie Raskin himself accepted a presidential pardon from Joe Biden just days before he left the White House. So I'm sitting here thinking, which is it, Mr. Raskin? Are you guilty of something, or are you just a massive hypocrite? Honestly, probably both. And so, folks, knowing all of that stuff that we just talked about, now it makes complete and total sense why Jamie Raskin has been complaining endlessly about Elon Musk for the last couple weeks. because Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency is finally exposing all of the corruption that has allowed people like Jamie Raskin to get rich off of the taxpayer dime. And so, like I said, for the last couple weeks, Jamie Raskin has been losing his mind. And so that's why Raskin is now calling for the impeachment of Elon Musk. Yes, you heard that right. He wants to impeach Elon Musk, who's a private citizen. Take a look at this.
Does not like the idea that a guy who would not even be constitutionally eligible to run for president is acting as president, a guy who, if he were president, would be impeached immediately because he's taking billions of dollars in foreign government emoluments from all over the world. And some people have actually been talking about impeaching President Elon Musk right now, on the theory that he's usurped the powers of the presidency. So,
folks, you can't make this stuff up. And as if that wasn't insane enough, Raskin now also wants to file a class action lawsuit on behalf of the American people against Elon Musk, claiming that the Department of Government Efficiency is violating people's privacy. Take a look at this.
What I'm thinking about and talking to, my friends at Democracy Defenders and other lawyers about is, could there be a nationwide class action lawsuit to follow up on last week's victories against Musk, against the Trump administration for this breach in computer security and the data of all American taxpayers? It could be a class action suit on behalf of all Americans. If the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers want to opt out and they don't want their part of the money for the contamination of their data, fine, they can opt out. But really, it's a suit on behalf of everybody because that's our information.
Right.
It doesn't belong to Elon Musk or his little midnight crew. It belongs to the people, and the government has to hold it in trust.
Folks, Jamie Raskin and the other Democrats like him are absolutely terrified that Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and the Department of Government Efficiency are finally uncovering all of this fraud, waste, and abuse that's been going on unadulterated in our federal budget. And now that we know that Raskin himself has some very shady ties to this $160 million USAID slush fund, it all makes sense. So folks, how about this? Let's put it all together here. Jamie Raskin was one of the leading voices on the highly corrupt J6 committee, which sought to weaponize the Constitution against President Trump. While doing that, he was linked to a $160 million USAID Democrat-backed slush fund. Elon Musk publicly called him out for it for being part of what is effectively a money laundering scheme. And now, Raskin is attacking Elon Musk, calling for impeachments and lawsuits. Folks, do you see what's going on here? Jamie Raskin is panicking. He's trying to fight back against all of this, trying to protect all of his corruption, but the walls are closing in on him. And guess what? Here's what I think. This is only the beginning. As Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency continue to find and expose corruption and fraud within our federal government, guess what? People like Jamie Raskin, corrupt politicians, will just continue to get exposed themselves. And hey, in my opinion, that is a good thing. But folks, I think that's going to be a wrap for today's video, so please let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below. Please like the video if you liked the video. Like I said earlier, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a ton. Thank you all very much for tuning in today, and of course, as always, stay safe.